Hi everyone, it's Diana, and welcome back to the Hidden Curriculum. Today we're digging into one of the biggest shifts from high school to college, learning how to learn in a completely new environment. Because college isn't just about being smart, it's about understanding how this whole new system works and finding the tools that help you succeed within it. Let's dive in. First things first, college classes are not one size fits all like they might have been in high school. In college, you have what some might call a large lecture class. Think 100 to 300 students in an auditorium where a professor delivers most of the content. These are common for introductory courses in subjects like biology, economics, or psychology. Some of those lectures also have smaller, what are called recitation sessions or discussion sessions. Those are led by TAs. That's short for teaching assistant, usually a graduate student who helps you review material, answer questions, and sometimes will even grade assignments. These smaller sessions are where you can ask clarifying questions and engage more directly with the course content. Then there are what are called seminars, smaller discussion-based classes with anywhere from 10 to 20 students, often focused on reading, writing, and conversation. You might sit around a table, share ideas, and really get to know your professor and your classmates well. And if you're in a STEM field, you'll probably take labs, which are hands-on sessions where you apply what you've learned in the lecture, collect data, and write lab reports. Each of these class types asks something different of you as a student. Some will challenge you to take careful notes and study independently. Others will ask you to speak up, collaborate, or apply your knowledge in real-world situations. And remember, college is a time to also explore. Most schools give you at least a year before you have to formally declare a major. So even if you think you know what you want to study right now, stay curious. Take a class that sounds weird. Try something new. That random course you sign up for your sophomore year might just change your path entirely. Next up, let's talk about majors. Yes, your major shapes your coursework and could even open doors to certain careers. But for many paths, what will matter most are the skills you develop within your courses: how to communicate clearly, think critically, solve problems, and collaborate with peers. If you're the first in your family to go to college, it is completely valid to think more deeply about the return on your investment. What majors feel stable, what careers can support your family, that's all super real. But I want to encourage you to not lose sight of fulfillment. You deserve to pursue what excites you as well. If you want to learn more about how specific majors may map onto careers, I encourage you to check out your school's Career Center. Within it, advisors can help you learn more about specific career pathways that can come from the things you're enjoying most in your classes. You can also learn from alumni of your college or university and ask questions about how they went from X major to Y career. Who knows? You may meet a cognitive science and Italian double major and now works in education. Now let's talk about something every student gets, but few really understand at first: the syllabus. You'll usually get your syllabus before or on the first day of class. And it's basically your contract for the semester. It outlines everything you need to know, including course description, what you'll study and why it matters, learning objectives, what you should be able to do or understand by the end of the course, instructor information, your professors and your TA's names, emails, and office hours. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Required materials, textbooks, articles, online platforms, or softwares you'll need to use for the course. Assignments and grading breakdown, how your final grade is calculated, and the weight that each assignment may have. Course schedule, due dates for major assignments, quizzes, and exams. Policies like attendance, late work, academic integrity, accommodation, and technology. It's a lot, but it's also your roadmap. A great first step each semester is to go through all of your syllabi and add any major due dates to a planner or your calendar. That's how you stay ahead and avoid the midterm and finals panic. If you're not sure how to interpret something, including grading policies, participation requirements, or office hours, I encourage you to just ask your professor or your TA. They'd rather clarify earlier rather than see you struggle later. Speaking of office hours, let's demystify them. Office hours are dedicated times when professors or TAs are available to meet with students. No appointment necessary. They're not just for emergencies or retroactive reasons like failing grades, they're for learning. You can stop by and ask questions about lecture material, talk through a paper outline, or ask for feedback on how you're doing in the course. These conversations can also help you build relationships with faculty, people who might later write a letter of recommendation, connect with for research opportunities, or just offer guidance. And remember, you don't have to figure everything out on your own. Colleges are full of people and spaces designed to help you succeed, like the Writing Center, where you can get feedback on essays at any stage of the writing process, tutoring centers and math labs for subject-specific support, and academic advising for course planning and time management. Disability services if you need academic accommodations for learning differences. You can also explore online resources like Purdue OWL for writing and citation guidance, crash course videos for quick concept reviews, and the College Essay Guy College Writing Center, which offers free tools and guides to strengthen your college-level writing and communication skills. We'll link all of these below. And so, seeking help isn't a sign that you're behind. It's a sign that you're taking your learning seriously. You're learning how to learn in college, how to read critically, how to study effectively, and how to advocate for yourself. Those skills will serve you far beyond any single class or semester. You've already shown you can adapt. You got here on your own. Keep building on that. We'll be back soon with more hidden curriculum essentials, from decoding college lingo to understanding financial aid and paying for school. Until then, keep showing up with curiosity, keep learning about your classes, your campus, and yourself. You've got this.